Hello, welcome to the 18th episode of All Sports Talk. I'm Patrick Gary.
I'm Costello.
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about pitchers cheating, Kyle Schwarber's weekend against the Mets, Yankees triple plays, Wander Franco getting called up, Shohei Ohtani in the home run derby, and our All-Star game predictions, and the Bucks beating the Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals. So first off, with the pitchers cheating, we know Glasnow got hurt, saying from substances and then not using it. And then Cole, when he was asked if he uses spider tack and if that should be legal or not, and he said he used it. And I mean, a lot of pitchers do use it. I don't think the MLB should be suspending pitchers like what they're doing. I think it's once start off and they're getting paid. I think they want pitchers to stop using it. They need a better suspension.
Yeah, I mean, the pitching stuff is just kind of ridiculous, honestly. There's no point in really suspending people for it. I mean, here's the thing, right? A lot of batters were like, oh, yeah, you can use it. No one really cares because, it helps them stay safe. And then they started batting 190, and then they were like, wait a minute, this is not good. So basically, I think that they have to keep some kind of substance in the game just for the fact of the matter of, hey, everyone's been using it. You can't just have them switch and drop in the drop of a dime. So like something like rosin or like sunscreen, that kind of stuff, right? Like stuff like spider tack, that is literally the sickest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Maybe that's a little bit too far. But like having some kind of substance just to get grip of the ball better, it would be very okay for pitchers to use, I believe. And also the suspensions are kind of just stupid, honestly. It's a 10-game suspension, so that's roughly 2 starts, give or take. Like you said, 1 to 2. So yeah, they'll be starting right after the suspension anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Also, I know Pete Alonso said that he's fine with pitchers using substances because the MLB juices their balls every other year depending on the free agency. Now, if that's the case, MLB juicing the balls for hitters to be hitting more home runs. I don't see why pitchers can't even out the playing field using substances and getting strikeouts.
Exactly.
I think the MLB took this in the wrong direction.
Definitely. I mean, there was a lot of different ways they could take it. Like they could definitely limited the suspension a lot more. They should have just cut the suspension in general. They should have just limited the substances to like you can only use this, that, or this, and again like a selection of stuff, because then the pitchers aren't as affected, and the pitchers actually have a chance against batters with the baseball flying 800 feet in the air.
Now the Yankees have 3 triple plays this year. This is tied for the most ever in the major leagues, tied with the Chicago White Sox in 2016. What are your thoughts on the Yankees turning so many triple plays this year?
I mean, I didn't see the first one. I was watching the second game live, and I was disgusted that entire game. That was terrible. The worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And then the one that happened just today, which is the 20th, seemed, I mean, it was pretty routine triple play. I mean, if you're a third baseman, you pray to like everything hit a ground ball to me, to the right side of me, easy triple play. It's a great feeling for that. I mean, the triple plays like, it's always fun to watch them. So, like, I think it's like, since it's the Yankees and I'm a Yankee fan, I mean, I like it a lot because, pretty entertaining. And it's really cool to just have multiple ones. The Yankees haven't had multiple triple plays in the year ever, I don't think. And having 3 this year already is, I mean, that's pretty cool.
I saw the Toronto Blue Jays one. That was just a bad base run by the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I mean, Bo Boucher should not have just stood in the middle of second and third base. He literally just stood there the entire time. Like, I don't know what on God's earth he was doing.
And
I know that he was baiting to get the runner home, but like Jesus Christ, just give it up. Just let the play die. You get runners at second and third, and you have the next batter up.
another one today. I think the Yankees had no double plays. I mean, no doubles on the line, and it was just hit down the line, and they turned it.
Exactly. Yep.
Second and first and second, and no one out
Yep.
for the Oakland A's.
Yeah. That Blue Jays one was just, I couldn't believe that, honestly, when I was watching. I was at work and I just see a ground ball hit to the pitcher. Easy out at first. And Bo Bichette just doesn't move. Bo Bichette literally stays in between second and third, just standing there. Like, he doesn't like look like he's in like a running position. He just kind of stood there, and I was like, huh. And then he starts walking backwards and walking like, oh god, that was so bad.
Now, in more AL East news, Tampa Bay Rays are calling up top prospect Wander Franco. Not surprised on this one after trading Willie Adames a couple weeks ago. We knew Wander Franco was coming up this season, just depending when. He's the number one prospect for Tampa Bay and in the MLB. He's going to be making his start Tuesday against the Boston Reds. Should be making his start Tuesday against the Boston Red Sox. Should be exciting to watch that game and see what he does.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that'll give the limited amount of Rays fans good hopes. I mean, it's a pretty odd time to call him up. I think they were gonna call him up with like the 40-man roster, ease him into the year, have him for the playoffs, and then he'll be basically ready to go by next season. But I mean, throwing him in mid-season, I was very surprised by that. I thought they were just gonna let him tear up the minors completely, just get him completely as ready as he possibly could, probably, and then do what they do with Randy. I forget how's his last name.
Or Rosarina.
Yeah, Rosarena, yes. Yeah, so Rosarena, that's the same thing. He went off in the playoffs because like no one really knew anything about him really. And Wander Franco, of course, different story, but like still, I mean, that's what I was predicting. Just like a late call up in September and then tear it up in the playoffs and then be ready for next season. But I mean, if they're feeling very confident in him, and I think that they can just straight up just do what they want with him and just have him be a star player right off the bat, hey, go for it. And it's a very important game because the Rays and Red Sox are very close in the division. So getting that extra boost of morale and, of course, skill will be very impactful for this series, I believe.
I thought he was going to get caught up earlier. When Willie Adames got traded, I thought they were going to call him up around that week.
Yeah, I thought that was just when Joey Wendell was going to get starting playing time every single day.
Now, Kyle Schwarber had a weekend against the New York Mets. In the past 2 games, he had 5 home runs, 2 yesterday and 3 today. As a Met fan, it was not fun. It was not a fun weekend for me.
Yeah.
But as a Nationals fan, it must have been amazing for you guys taking 3 out of 4 against us.
Yeah. I mean, Schwarber has always been like so I feel like he's always been like just like a wild card. I remember he got onto the scene, he was pretty damn good, and then he got torn ACL right out the bat of the next season. I think that was 2019 or 2018. I'm pretty sure it was 19 though. Either way, tore the ACL right off the bat. That was really sad. I think it was 2018 actually. 2018. He tore his ACL. 2019 he comes back. He's been pretty stagnant since then, but like he's always had shines of production, and goddamn, this weekend was nothing short of that.
Last night, the Bucks beat the Nets 115-111 in overtime to get into the Eastern Conference Finals. Giannis had 40 points, leading them. This was it was a good game, and I would like to see what the Bucks do in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was a intense series. I mean, granted, I don't think they win if Harden and Kyrie don't go down. But I mean, hey, that's life, right? I think that, but the Bucks are definitely suited to fit that spot, though. I mean, if they weren't versing the Nets, they probably would have been in these conference championships anyway. So good on them. I think that it was a very good series of course, 7 games. But I think that they have a pretty good chance winning the conference finals too.
They have a good chance of winning it all.
Yeah.
The other team going to the Eastern Conference Final, the Atlanta Hawks, beating the number 1 seed 76ers, 103-96. Trae Young had 21 points, leading the Hawks. I mean, well, Taylor
No.
Herro had 27 leading the Hawks, but
Yeah.
Trae Young's the starter, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was a pretty impressive game. But just like the Hawks didn't have like one guy super scoring the entire game, which is a pretty good mix-up. They seem to have a lot of people involved, a lot of just sharing the points around, and that's pretty good when you have someone on the opposing team named Ben Simmons scoring 5 points in like 40 minutes. I know he had 13 assists, but still, I mean, he's got to put up more points than that. He had a rough game.
Ben
It's
Simmons is not good. He's not good. Joel Embiid, you got ditch Ben
solo
Simmons.
carried.
Just ditch Ben Simmons. He's not good. In the Western Conference Finals against the Suns and Clippers, Devin Booker had a triple-double for the Suns, getting 40 points, 11 assists, and 13 rebounds. What a game Booker had for the Suns.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, without Chris Paul, Devin Booker showed up when he really needed to, and I mean, goddamn, he lit it up. He was lights out today, actually, yesterday. Either way, he did so damn good, and it was definitely a great game to watch, at least.
Yeah, and now with Chris Paul coming back for the Suns could be getting into the finals soon.
Yeah,
Unless
definitely.
I think Kawhi was out in today's game, so
Yeah, I think Kawhi will be out last game and next game, and then once they're back in LA, they'll have Kawhi back, and then I'm assuming that Chris Paul will be back by then at least.
So I mean, it'll be interesting to see Kawhi back and Chris Paul back to see who's
Yeah,
gonna win the
definitely.
series.
Yeah, that'll definitely like intensify the series a lot. I'm really excited for that, actually.
Yeah, same. In breaking news, the Supreme Court sides with former college players in dispute with NCAA about compensation, meaning that college players will be getting paid for playing college football and all of the sports. I like this a lot because a lot of players don't make it to the NFL and major sports, and they could risk injury when playing, and it ruins their draft stocks, and they don't make it. So I like college players getting paid.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's obviously there are like two sides to this, the good and the bad. But yeah, all in all, I think that it's a good thing that they're getting paid because they risk a good amount for the sports they play, and and if you don't make it because you get injured or something like that, I mean, it's good to just still have that guarantee of, you're at least getting something.
Now, in more college football news, the NCAA is changing the playoffs to 12 teams instead of 4. I like how it's more teams, but 12 is too much. It's like half the top 25's in it. Doesn't make sense for 12 teams to be in it. I think 6 is a good number, but it's better than having 3 of the 4 same teams like Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State in college football playoffs year after year. I like how they're changing it for more teams to make it, but I think lower to like 6 or 8 teams. I think that's a good number to start off with.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that maybe 12 is a little bit too much because, like you said, it's half the league, and it's half of the top 25. But like having 4 was definitely way too small because it's just the same thing every single year, basically. But at least now, you have some unpredictability. Maybe someone like, let's say, like, I don't know, Michigan beats like Alabama and like the round of 8 or something like that. That would be like, it's always fun to see like some kind of upset and some kind of like chances to at least have something cool happen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Michigan's going to beat
Oh no, never,
Alabama
never, no, no. I'm just saying,
or Ohio State for that
yeah,
matter.
yeah, exactly. But the chance that it could happen is the physical part.
Yeah. Now the NBA draft lotto just happened. First team's going to be Detroit, second team's Houston, third team's Cleveland, fourth Toronto, fifth Orlando, 6 Oklahoma City, 7 Minnesota, 8 Chicago, 9 Sacramento, 10 New Orleans, 11 Charlotte, 12 San Antonio, 13 Indiana, and 14 Golden State. Pretty. I'm not surprised about the draft lotto. I thought it was gonna be something similar to this. Looks like Cade Cunningham, heard a lot of buzz around him during the tournament. He's probably going to Detroit, so would be fun to see the draft.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they there was what's it called? Houston, Detroit, Orlando all had the same odds at number one, and of course, Detroit getting it. They got very lucky with that. And then, I mean, the odds pretty much worked out as they should have. A few teams dropped, a few teams fell a little bit, but it seemed like there was all around. It kind of went as planned. Oklahoma went as low as they could possibly go. They got unlucky with the what's it called 1 through 4. But yeah, I mean, and Cleveland they got a good pick. They got very lucky with that one with the getting moved up all the way to I think it was 3, right?
Yes.
Yep. And then Magic falling to 5, kind of tragic, but I it went pretty well, I think. With that, Oklahoma City now has, well, not now, but in general, they have 6 picks this year. They have picks at 6, 16, and 18, I believe, and that is absolutely incredible. And they have 3 more picks in the second round. They have 6 picks this year. Just pray that team does good.
Trade a lot of players for picks.
Yeah.
Now, MLB is wanting to track down on pitchers using substances, checking every pitcher if they're using something. And a lot of drama between the Phillies and Nationals last night as Joe Girardi asked the umpires to check Max Scherzer multiple times throughout the game to see if he was checking substances. The first inning checked them fine, but you ask 3 times and he still has nothing. Max Scherzer said, "Check me wherever you want. I'm not using anything." Like, Joe Girardi, your Phillies are trash if you're asking 3 times for a pitcher using substances. That's ridiculous. If I'm
Yeah.
Max Scherzer or any pitcher and they ask me 3 times I'm using a substance and I not using it, I'm getting mad. I might hit the
Throwing
next
at
batter or
the
throw
umpire.
behind him. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
MLB took the substance thing in the wrong way.
definitely. Yeah. I mean, I have no idea how Rob Manfred just allows this to happening. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I don't really know what to say about it, honestly. I mean, like, they have to find a way to limit this to as little amount as possible because you really can't just let this keep on happening.
Now we're going to be talking about the MLB All-Star Game. All right, so we're going to just pick our players who we think is going to make it. These are the final 3 for the starters. I'm going to go first.
Sure. So, I mean, quite obviously, Vlad gets American League odds. And I'll probably Yasi Freeman. Second base, have to get to Simeon. And Albies and Frazier is a hard pick, honestly, because I mean, Frazier's batting average is so much better than Albies, and Albies, he has all the RBIs, but then again, he's on a team that can actually play baseball. Adam Frazier's on a team that wants to play like soccer. So there's that. You know what? I'll give it to Adam Frazier. All right. Third base. Yeah, so Rafael Devers for IL, I think. And then for NL, I give the slight edge to Chris Bryant. Very, very slight edge, but I think he'll probably get the nod from. May was very, very good. So shortstop is don't want to do this, but Xander Bogaerts, and obviously it's Tatis. All right. So for the AL, it has the Salvador Perez. If he thinks anyone else, you are insane. Buster Posey for NL as well. He's been out of this. He's been so good this year. All right, outfield. So, I mean, I guess I'm gonna go and I'm not gonna use Mike Trout because has not been playing. In no order at all, by the way. I'd probably go with Judge, Cedric Mullins, and I'm thinking if I want to go Mike Trout or Alex Vertigo. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go Vertigo, yeah, just because he's been playing very good, and playing in general. And then for the NL, I'll put exactly what they have actually: Acuna, Castillos, and Jesse Winker. And then Otani, of course, has to win there.
Now if the NL had a DH, who would you pick?
Probably like what's his name? No, Arenado, or what's his name? Brandon Crawford. Those two, like if they didn't have such good players at that position, they could easily be starting any other All-Star game.
Yeah.
So for pitching in the AL, I would have given it to Cole, but Cole's kind of getting rocked recently. I mean, Shohei Ohtani is not a bad pick for pitching in the AL. And then in the NL, of course, we'll have Jacob deGrom. Relievers, for the NL relief pitchers, I'd go with Josh Hader and Edwin Diaz.
So now for my All-Star game vote for the AL, I'm picking Vlad Jr. For the NL, I'm going to give it to Max Muncy. For second baseman, I think Altuve could get the start here. And yeah, I think Adam Frazier's going to get the start at second base. Third baseman's probably going to be Devers and probably Arenado. For shortstops, Bogarts and Tatis. Catchers, kind of want to give it to Yasmani Grandal.
Why?
I mean, like, I kind of want to give it to him.
All right.
I feel like he's going to be better than Perez. Like, I know the averages
it matters when
are there, but I think Grandal is just like overall better.
Fair.
For the NL, Buster Posey. Oh, also Martin Maldonado should have not made that.
I mean, there aren't many catchers in general
Gary
that are like.
He's better than him.
Who?
Gary Sanchez.
Well, I guess.
He's just simply better than him. All right, now for the outfield, I'm going to go Judge, Mullins, and I think Teoscar Hernandez. For the NL, Winker, Castellanos, and Acuna. I feel like that's pretty easy there. And then DH, Otani, and probably Chris Bryant for the NL. My pitchers for the American League, it's going to be Garrett Cole. Relief pitcher, Liam Hendricks. Closer, Chapman. And then for the NL, obvious pick for starting pitcher, Jacob deGrom. Relief pitcher, Brad Hand. And closer, Edwin Diaz. Okay. Now the home run derby, big part of the All-Star game. 4 people saying yes. We have Alonso, Otani, Trevor Story, and Trey Mancini. We're going to pick 4 other players who we think is going to make it and pick our winner. So you want to go first?
Sure. So from the AL, I'd go Matt Olson and Nelson Cruz. Nelson Cruz is a little bit of a stretch, but big power, Colorado, it could definitely work. For the NL, I was gonna go ahead and go with Kyle Schwarber, and this was a hard one, the last one, but I like to see someone roughly new. So I was gonna go with Jesse Winker.
Jesse Winker.
Yeah.
I'll pick there. I'm going to go with Elios Garcia on the Texas Rangers and Giancarlo Stanton on the New York Yankees. And then I'm also going to be picking Kyle Schwarber, who's been on a tear, and Ronald Acuna Jr., who's also hitting a lot of bombs. I know Tatis and Vlad both said no, they don't want to be in it. Messes up your swing. Would have been fun to see them in it, but they're having great years. They don't want to mess anything up. So with our derbies, who do you think is going to win?
I mean, as much as I want to say Nelson Cruz, I don't think that Nelson Cruz can necessarily. He could definitely win. I wouldn't be surprised if Ohtani wins, honestly. Ohtani sounds like a pretty good choice. It's a very safe choice, I should say.
Yeah. I think Pete Alonso's going to win the home run derby again. Repeat.
I wouldn't be surprised.
2019.
I'd like to see Trey Mancini win it.
Same.
Yeah.
I like to see him win it. I either want him or Pete to win.
That's fair.
The NHL Stanley Cup finals are starting. The Canadiens beat the Golden Knights to advance to the Stanley Cup 3-2 in Game 7. The Lightning beat the Islanders 1-0 in overtime in Game 7 to advance to the Stanley Cup. In Game 1 of the Stanley Cup, Lightning beat the Canadiens 5-1. I can see the Canadiens coming back from this and winning in 7. What do you think?
I think Lightning have this pretty easily. I mean, the Canadiens, although they are a very good team, I don't think they're Stanley Cup winners yet. They're definitely not worthy of winning a cup just yet, in my opinion. But I definitely do think that they'll be on the cusp of it soon. But I think this year it has to go to Lightning. Probably like in at most 5 games. I could see them literally sweeping the Canadiens.
Should be interesting to watch how the Stanley Cup plays off.
Yep.
Breaking news: the Toronto Blue Jays and Miami Marlins made a trade. The Marlins are sending outfielder Corey Dickerson and pitcher Adam Simber to the Blue Jays in return for second baseman Joe Panik and prospect Andrew McInvale. Interesting trade, giving away Dickerson and receiving Panik, both veteran guys. Should see a couple trades by the deadline.
I mean, yeah, this is really just a cap space dump for the Marlins. I mean, there's really no reason for them to have Dickerson, especially Dickerson, because he seems to be doing not all that bad. And then the Marlins kind of don't really want to be good at the moment. They're just, building up all the young guys. And having more younger players is better for them, obviously. So, I mean, yeah, I like the trade for the Marlins. I enjoy the Marlins as a team, so there's that. Yeah, I mean, they had to get something in return, so McInvale and Joe Panik, pretty good return. I'm not sure why they chose Joe Panik because that middle infield room is kind of stacked with Jazz Chisholm and Miguel Rojas. I know that Rojas is kind of playing third at the moment with Brian Anderson not playing third right now because of his injury. So I think it's fairly good, but I think that they could have got different players back, but it still works either way.
Mariners pitcher Hector Santiago is the first pitcher receiving the 10-game suspension for using a foreign substance on the glove. I don't know why MLB checks it after the inning. I feel like you gotta check it before the inning starts. And now I saw they're checking players, like when your team's down by a lot or running by a lot, you bring like a position player. Now they're checking those guys as well, which doesn't make sense to me. Because if you're just checking that, then shouldn't you check every single player, like a first baseman, outfielder, and like if a position player gets suspended, are they getting the 10-game suspension? Is it going to be something else? Like for a pitcher, it's one start on most, and you're getting paid. Like it doesn't make that much sense to me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's really weird. And the whole idea of doing whole checks is weird. But like, I mean, there's really no reason to cheat, especially scratch that. There's no reason to try to get around it because they check literally every inning. There really isn't much you can do. I mean, people probably have found a way around it, but yeah, and he's not really in like a position to really do that, in my opinion, just because he's kind of on the Mariners and just kind of playing just to try and win, and you don't really want to just kind of throw your team under the bus because you have to get a new pitcher in right away. Right away, and playing without it for now is probably the best option for these teams, and the managers have gotta make sure the players don't do it. I think, although I do think it is an extremely stupid rule.
It's 100% spin. And you can't use sunscreen as well. So
Yeah,
say you're pitching in Atlanta. It's a really hot day, really sunny. You're pitching. You can't use sunscreen to protect yourself from the sun? What?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, sorry, I don't want to get sunburned. I want to be red.
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense to me.
small price to pay.
I'm mad for
God.
starting baseball.
Oh yeah, completely. It's terrible.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment.